Both defenses will have to be on the watch for a pair of tight ends looking to find seams in the Dolphins. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll hear our Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in one of America's finest cities, Miami, Florida. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. And, Charles, we saw Larry focus on the tight end matchup in his open. You think it's one to watch, don't you?
Definitely one to watch because these guys can create such big plays by all the different things they can do. Line up out wide, in the slot, line up in a normal tight end position, and then who are you going to cover them with? Is it a lineman? A defensive back, they create mismatches all throughout the game.
Getting ready is the kicker, Andrew Franks, and we are underway from Miami. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the former Louisville Cardinal, Teddy Bridgewater.
To me, the best part of Teddy Bridgewater's game is his decision-making. Very smart, loves to watch the game, loves to analyze it, and he does it so well, he takes care of the football and keeps his team in good spots.
Now the first carry for Adrian Peterson. Shreds the tackle. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Brandon, I know you play the fantasy football game, and Adrian Peterson has to be a popular pick for owners. But this year, a tough season for him. A knee injury early limited him to 72 yards total for the season.
Yeah, early indeed. Week 2 on that knee injury. So 72 yards, as you said, for the year. Came back admirable, hoping to get him into the playoffs, but didn't look like he was ready to return.
One guy I never count out, though, is Adrian Peterson. I expect a monster return in 2017.
And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. It's Jelani Jenkins that brings him down. An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. Here on the other end, they got to learn to get him down, or this could be a long one.
And it's also the sign that his team wanted to see. Him making that type of a run, having a force and an impact on the game that early, that really demoralizes the defense because they realize it could be a long game trying to get him up.
Bridgewater on first down. Over the middle here to Rudolph. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The second down throw for Bridgewater. The left side caught by Diggs. 23 yards on the play. I'm just looking side by side at Diggs' number, rookie year versus sophomore year a season ago. 52 catches as a rook, 84 last year. But something you pointed out to me, yards per catch is off a bit, isn't it?
It is, and, you know, his first year, he was known a little bit more as a big play threat. This past season, adjusting to a new quarterback in Sam Bradford, that number went down by about 3 yards per catch. But he can be an explosive type of a receiver. Look at the last 2 games of the regular season, well over 100 yards in both.
Back to the ground, Peterson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Cameron Wake makes plays like that look simple because I think he plays with excellent leverage. Really does a nice job of being lower than the offensive guys trying to block him and gets underneath them and goes up and down the line of scrimmage to make those types of plays.
They kept him to a short run play there. Bridgewater gives to Peterson on the draw. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a 1st.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. That's caught at the 2. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
1st and goal, they'll look to smash it in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adrian Peterson punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
He's got it, and the Vikings take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And there is Ryan Tannehill bringing out the Miami Dolphins, finishing the season just shy of 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns, 12 picks, Charles. Unable to play, of course, in the playoff game. Had to be hard for him to sit that one out.
Had to be very hard for him because I thought he finished the season with a flourish. And this was a monster year for Ryan Tannehill in his development as an NFL quarterback. And I thought he passed the test. And I think 2017, he's eager for it, as is his head coach, Adam Gase.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Flush to his right. He hits his running back, Jay Ajayi. All the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay Ajayi, 66 yards. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Now Andrew Frank's on for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. 2016 season, the quarterback change at the beginning, the hot start, and then the cold middle. It was just a tough year for them, wasn't it?
It really was, and when you look at how their season went, you mentioned the roller coaster. A lot of it can come back to the injuries, especially along the offensive line. I think by around October, maybe even early November, I'm surprised you and I didn't get a call to go audition to be a left tackle there because they were just down so many guys. So that made it difficult to run the ball and to protect Sam Bradford, their quarterback, and it reflected in their final record.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. They come out here in the eye. Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
On third down, Bridgewater. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And will, right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Second down following the incompletion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
For someone who piled up the yardage that Jay Ajayi did in 2016, I think it was a strange type of a year. How many runners do you know that will end the season with more 200-yard games on the ground than 100-yard games and end up over 1,000?
Very, very strange. 3 200-yard games, just 1 100-yard game. All in all, though, how do you see a season? A rough start, but looked pretty good in the end.
Rough start, but a really good offensive line that continues to grow.
Back now with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They'll need to convert a 3rd and 7, though, to start things out. Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up a 4th down. So on now is the Miami punter, Matt Darr, to kick this one away.
Third down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 20. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Bridgewater gives to his tailback, Peterson. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39.
Yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
Second down, Bridgewater. And complete, right side, the tight end Rudolph. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Red zone opportunity. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15. Chris Culliver with the tackle.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The former Bill, Mario Williams, on the stop.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping this.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
So on 4th down, the Vikings send out Blair Walsh to try the field goal here. And Lutz puts this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Here's Jarvis Landry now on the return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And out come the Dolphins now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40 as Chad Greenway in on the stop. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Miami after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Escaping the pressure right. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On first down, Tannehill eluding the pressure right. Drops it off to Ajayi. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
First and 10, Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. On the run, and this is caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Devontae Parker, 36 yards. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And it's up and good. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Frank's now on to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Little lull in the action here to go over an offseason storyline. It's kind of interesting. L.A. a couple years ago, they have no teams, and now they're going to have 2 with the move from San Diego to L.A. What does that mean for the league and for the Chargers?
It seems like an easier transition, doesn't it, than St. Louis when they moved back to Los Angeles.
Less culture shock.
Less culture shock, less, obviously geography, the whole deal. But it's a transition that still is not going to be easy. Remember, they're going to go play in a soccer stadium, essentially, for at least the first couple of years before they share a stadium with the Rams. So that changes things. Obviously, trying to create an identity in the market they haven't been in a long time. They began as the Los Angeles Chargers, but only played 1 season as such. Can you do any more work or make it more dramatic for not much gain than what we just saw there? Did you see how his toes got down? Tip-tap, got him down. What would he get out of it?
He sold the sizzle. He just had no steak.
I mean, was it 1 yard?
Yeah, plays like that, you at least expect a first down. They're just 1 yard.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs. In this case, the feet did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you... Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They go play action here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. It's the linebacker, Chad Greenway with a pick. That late in the clock. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. One receiver left, three to the right. Bridgewater now on second down. Muscles him off. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And the lead is down to one now at 14-13. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage three here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
So a very tight first half. We had to break in a one-point game. As we check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando, he's standing by with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Dolphins are happy to be in front, and they'll look to play another solid half of football. The Vikings know it's always hard to come in and get a win on the road, but they're not out of this one yet. All right, let's do it. Here's a look at the first half highlights. Vikings with the ball midway through one. Peterson's going to look for space, and he capped off the 9-play drive with the TDs. Dolphins with the football late in the first. Vikings take the early lead. Tannehill's going to get outside and complete the pass, and he's going to go 67 yards for the score. Dolphins now late in the second. Tannehill's going to complete the pass from the gun, and this play will go for 6. They're now on top by 4.
All right, thank you, Larry. Plenty of intrigue to come. A one-point game as we get set for half two. Here's Landry. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. On first down, it's Tannehill. And throw right side complete to Parker. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there? Swarming to it and not allowing that to happen. Did not let him get downfield.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. They come out here in the eye. They try to fire up the run game with Adrian Peterson. He takes this from the 30 to the 34. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop. So 2nd and medium, 2nd and 5 now.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
To throw, Bridgewater. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Bridgewater a give. This is Peterson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
2nd down, Bridgewater. Caught on the right side by Treadwell. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now it's AP, Adrian Peterson. They'll wind up getting 4 down to the 36. A couple of Dolphins in on the stop.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
When I see Cameron Wake make plays like that, I can't help but shake my head sometimes. He had to go to Canada first before he came back to the NFL, where he's now an All-Pro.
Yeah, undrafted out of Penn State, but look at him now.
And just think about all the pass rushing moves he has, his ability to play against the run. Remember, he was a combo outside linebacker, defensive end. Now he's just simply one of the best in the NFL.
Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Bridgewater. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Mario Williams in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
Here's Jeff Locke now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The drive will start with Arian Foster. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Brian Robinson in on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we play 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Miami. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. So the offense puts the ball on the ground, but they pick it back up. Now they face a 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, 62 yards. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Now, he's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. If you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Now Franks for the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Franks now on to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Adrian Peterson now getting ready to go again on offense. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. That'll bring up 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Throwing again, Bridgewater on 2nd and 10. And his throw is incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. 3rd down here. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And a 3rd down pass falls incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jerick McKinnon there, and it brings up 4th down.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
Here's Jeff Locke now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Landry now on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And that last drive, a long drive. But not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Flushed out right. On the left side, this is Stills. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Flush to his right. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the 4th quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
And now out comes Minnesota. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. Left side caught by Diggs. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
The 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. Complete to right. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Third and long for Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. And Ndamukong Suh able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Jeff Locke now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Now Landry. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. So now here come the Dolphins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
From the 50, it's Tannehill. Oh, he stays up. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Anthony Barr not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments in this one.
380.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Now Tannehill escaping the pressure right. He gets it to Sims, complete. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. On 4th down, Tannehill rolling to his left. And that is incomplete. The Dolphins can't convert on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go out in the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now you got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. He's back to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell, and that'll bring it over the middle here to Rudolph. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Still in search of the 1st down after that last completion. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. Back to throw. That's caught by Treadwell. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he's is into the end zone. No flags. It's a touchdown. And now a two-point conversion. And we'll be tied here in the final minute.
Do they have one big call left? Here we go. Was one of my favorite announcers always used to say after a touchdown, give him 6. Now they've got it, but they need 2 in order to tie. This is why teams spend a lot more time on two-point conversions, because they've become more prevalent in the NFL.
Here we go now as we get set for a big two-point conversion. Bridgewater will try and throw. And it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the fourth. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of. The two-point conversion to get this thing tied.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Here's Tannehill. Steps away. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up third down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their third of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
Tannehill. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. He was trying to get it to Jay and Jeff.
Offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
So we saw a lot of points. Overtime comes. The defenses, they clamp down.
Rather amazing, isn't it? Because would you have even thought that we get to overtime after what we witnessed for 4 quarters?
Not at all.
And have 0 points on either side? Not a chance, right? And somehow it happened. We always talk about making adjustments. Maybe both defenses took 4 full quarters in order to get an adjustment. Got 1 good period in for both defenses, and now they go home. You buying tonight?
I thought it was you. I did last week. I did the last 2 weeks.
Oh, I was trying to go for 3.
Dinner on you, my good man.
Trying to go for 3.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They're set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the whole thing because they know if this team takes it downfield and scores a touchdown, it's game over.
It's been loud in here so far. Peterson alone in the backfield. And they'll give it to him here. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard in the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Another tote for the workhorse here this afternoon, Peterson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers, Steel Curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the Steel Curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. Let's see if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here, see if they can force another 3 and out.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. 3rd and 2, Tannehill. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Calling a pickup of 7, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
Well, let's begin by trying to get into the mind of the head coach. He's telling us he wants to win the game right now. That's why they went for it and got it on 4th down.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And that's incomplete.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
Back to the air, Tannehill on second down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And it's caught by Parker. 2 minutes to go here in overtime. We'll be back after this. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll be left with just one remaining here in OT.
Tight on this side, boys. Tight on the left. Tight on the left. Move. Set. Wide. 20.
On first down, Tannehill. And Stills over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete.
380. 380.
To the air again, Tannehill. And got his tight end, Duarte. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final stoppage here in overtime, and we'll be back. So the field goal unit, another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And that is no good. And that changes everything here in OT. So possible disaster there. It's an empty possession, and there's no worse time to have an empty possession than the first drive of overtime.
Yeah, and remember the situation now, Brandon. It's sudden death from here on out. You can bet he's begging for a chance to redeem.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that will be their third and final in this overtime session. And as they talk it over, we take a break. We'll be right back. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. The second down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to loft one deep left side here. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So into overtime and all the way to the end of overtime. They have a chance to win it. Couldn't convert on the field goal, and we end in the very rare tie.
Don't see it very often. We did discuss it as we began overtime that because it's a regular season game, we're going to play that last quarter. And if no one scores or however, if it finishes in a tie, that's it. But boy, how bad do you feel for him? The opportunity to win it with a field goal at the end, and it doesn't go through the pipes.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. From Miami, so long, everybody.
Not headed to the airport for this one. One more day here will suit me just fine.